almost touches all of the different SDGs. So it's so imperative that engineering's involved, and sometimes engineers, we can take a back seat, we can take the shy away from the limelight or the spotlight. So we're involved with so much of everyday life that sometimes people don't really realize. So no, excellent points. Thanks everyone. And everyone online, feel free to pop questions into the Q&A box. We can monitor that as we go and answer questions, and we'll take those breaks as well to look at the Q&A box and answer some questions there. All right, our next broad topic is how can you become an engineer? So this is really about your interest in engineering, where that came from, and what path you sort of took. So we can start with Ben, if you've got any insight here.
Yeah, I think for me it was that being able to use the mathematical interest that I had in a real world app. You take all of this different piece of knowledge in the maths and science, which is where I was enjoying through, and engineering the next step in being able to actually see something be built on the ground or what that might look like. So for me, it was about skills and a passion I had for building things and seeing things built was what led me through that to become an engineer.
Yeah, I think that's a very that's going to be a very common theme, I think, as well. Faraz, did you have any points here on why you became an engineer?
Yeah. Becoming an engineer is challenging when you are at high school and you're looking forward for a bright future and a career path. You like to look into the things that you love most, and if you love the critical thinking and the problem solving skills, you need to think of a degree or something that you like most. However, if someone is now willing to do engineering or become an engineer, you need to narrow the interests, because there are different degrees offered in engineering, from chemical, electrical, mechanical, civil, environmental, and many degrees. So you need to narrow down your choices, pick a degree that you love most, and try to start in it, select a very good university or school to study it, and then during the study do some internships to gain some experience before entering into the market.
Yeah, I had a very similar experience, and I agree that ability to get into the marketplace and start working as a student yourself is pretty impressive. That sort of internship and working experience is invaluable. Alyssa, did you have something to add in terms of why you were interested in engineering?
I'd say I definitely echo the sentiments from Ben, Faraz, and yourself, Colin. What I have to add is probably from a high school perspective, do try out some of the sciences, especially I would say physics and chemistry, and actually all biology, because of biomedical engineering, if that's an area that you're not sure about, but you might potentially be interested in. But at the same time, like, universities are very flexible these days. So say if you're at university and you haven't, you don't start off in an engineering degree, but interacting with other people, you find that you want to become an engineer. They do have bridging courses. So I would say there's so many different ways to become an engineer. You don't necessarily have to go down the STEM pathway all the way to become an engineer. You can, try out different things and then also come back to this area, because engineering really does help, critical thinking, like Faraz said. But also if you're able to bring a more holistic picture to engineering, say from some other studies that are outside of the STEM space, that's also really valued, especially in this like multidisciplinary era.
Yeah, great point. Anything to add from anyone else?
I'll probably just add as well, probably just a bit on top of what Alyssa just said, the importance of being able to communicate. So that kind of ability to speak and communicate and tell a story of what you're trying to get across becomes really important as the workforce for opportunities through school to present in front of people, to get up and do some public speaking and things like that will be really advantageous to when you enter the workforce, to when you're having to go into meetings and present your ideas, your projects will be beneficial.
Right. Yeah, and I guess a very similar experience to all of you here. One other comment what I had was in my first year of uni, they did try and give us a taste for all the different disciplines so that you could try and figure out what you like most. And then, like Alyssa said, you can shift course if you decided to choose electrical and you got a little way down the track and thought, maybe I should have chosen mechanical. You can, yeah, quite easily redirect. And one other group that I would just mention is there might be people on the call and young people that enjoy doing things with hands. They may like, the trade or the artisan pathway to become an electrician or a mechanic or a boiler maker or anything like in that trade space. There's definitely opportunities to go from a engineering tradesperson to then into and become an engineer as well. So there's certainly a lot of different pathways that people can take and end up as an engineer at the back end. We've had one question, and we can maybe just break our agenda and look at that one. It's the question is, how can I become an engineer? They're from a commerce background or a commerce group. I can have a quick go. I think if you were to try and go back to university and try to study, you'd probably get some credits for what you've studied already. So there's a lot of electives in the engineering.
Yeah, okay. Are you hearing me? Sorry.
Yes, yep. Got you.
Yeah. Sorry. WFEO it was founded back in 1968 when like around 50 scientific and technical associations from all over the world met under the auspices of the UNESCO in Paris, and they established the World Federation of Engineering Organizations. Currently, the WFEO is recognized and chosen as a leader of engineering profession and cooperates with national and other international groups, institutions, and lead the profession in developing and applying engineering to resolve like international and national issues for the benefit of humanity. WFEO also nowadays encourages these national and international organizations and other organizations working in the field of engineering to provide like an international perspective and to have to establish a sustainable, equitable, and a peaceful world. If we go now to the Young Engineers Future Leaders Committee, this committee was a standing committee of the WFEO. It represents this for the youth in general and for the young engineers, and to lead the way in order to are aware to have engineers aware of the sustainable development goals and work with national young groups in the different countries in order on the topics which are globally of interest for all engineers. We're trying also to have like several of webinars, educational and free webinars under the theme Engineering the Future. And during these webinars, we're heading the light on the interest of young engineers and what young engineers can do for a better world of tomorrow.
Excellent. Thank you. For us, and I've been really impressed by the group, and I think there's that link as well, isn't there, for us with COP is it COP26 last year? There's quite a few people from
Yeah, for
that
last year.
attended.
Exactly. For last year, we have collaborated with other young groups like Youngo and other groups, and we have issued the climate declaration, which was presented in COP26. And also, we are working together with a working group on climate action for COP27. And we'll be having like a side event in the November 2022 during COP27 on the issues related to climate action. We're contributing on it with many organizations. One of these is for consulting engineers, and the European young engineers as well.
Oh, excellent. No, it's impressive to hear. And I think it's an ongoing relationship really with the COPs that will come in years to come. So that's fantastic to see.
Exactly.
We might skip to the Q&A again. There's been a question from Coral. How does the